Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about rotations as a solo player and as a team player. Before the game starts, you'll see a small example on Blood Drive, which is also where the game is, obviously. But this doesn't just apply to Blood Drive, this applies to every map. So right here, we have a little defense spot for the middle map, or for the middle ring here at the buzzsaw, which is usually the beginning. We got two people in the middle, one person in that corner, and one person in the hospital corner. And my point of this example is to illustrate proper spacing and what the fifth person is supposed to do. Now, Gears always has these lanes, right? You got the middle lane right there where the ring is on the buzzkill, at the torque bow, and at the bench right there. And you got the side hills, which are the grenades and the little host pocket, we call it, the little lookout point, right? That people are always sitting and crossing from. And this is an example of when somebody in the middle is getting crossed from grenades, what the person in the corner is supposed to do when they notice, right? And what I'm supposed to do, because I'm the fluid guy, I'm the agile guy. So you see Dope Girl running up to take the 1v1. I take over his spot in case he dies. That way there's no ground lost. And in the moment he wins and comes back, I go back to the middle, because I'm supposed to take over the spot that's being moved from. Now this next example is when a hill is on the side of the map. Now right now there's high ground on Blood Drive. But my advice is to always get behind the hill as well, so you block the enemy spawn. And if you didn't notice, there's an enemy spawn, or there's a spawn point in the burger joint on my right there. Kind of hard to see because I'm like staring at the people there, but you'll see it in the game. So right here you can see the Locust trying to push up, and these are my friends. They're all good players, so they know how to play, but they just can't get any distance, really. They can't get any like tangible positions to defend from because there's too much distance. But here, when we're all inside the grenades, and this happens a lot because people aren't used to telling each other off, or going in the right spots and putting themselves at risk. When the enemy team is this close, and obviously this is a setup example, right? So it's not really perfect. But when the enemy is this close, you give them the opportunity to not only use their shotgun, but also use grenades and get better positions than you. As well as you don't have the burger place spawn blocked. So it could very well be that you spawn in one side of the map and they spawn very close. But anyway, let's jump in the game and see how this really goes down. So I hope you guys have been well. I've been very well. Today's my day off, Tuesday this week. So I said, you know what, let's make a video. And thanks to everybody for helping, by the way. Much appreciated. Even though you guys, follow directions like 4-year-olds. It's the best, man. Thank you guys. So right here, I'm just pushing in, and this is a really decent team. But you can see when we actually start to work together, we just take hills, and we take better positions. So I'm spawning up in our main spawn. I come down, I see those guys go to the grenades, so I know that nobody's coming down with me. So all I have to do is kind of cover. So here, this is the example I was just talking about, right? There's people inside the grenades, and we're properly spaced out. Mayo is waiting. He can get crossed from the middle, but I have his angles covered. So I get the down. I pay attention. I move up with the Cantus. They get traded. That's fine. And I constantly check my tag comp to see where my teammates are going, because I want to be in a good spot for them to fall back to, or for me to push in from. And when you're too far away from your teammates, it takes too long to reach their position, so you're probably gonna die before you get there. See, right now you see Mayo, he's in the corner on the right. So I'm staying in the middle. I'm not trying to be too aggressive right now. So I'll run through the grenades because I heard we were in a party together, me, Triv, and the whole team basically. And I heard he was talking about, there was people close to him, so he probably heard someone spawn next to him. That's why I ran past that way. And this is one of those hills. I tell people this all the time. Sometimes the best thing to do, and this goes for solo players as well, if you're trying to beat the enemy team in King of the Hill, is to not capture the hill. If it's too hard to hold, right, because the enemy team is also really good, then just worry about getting kills and kind of demoralize the enemy team, right? Because if they don't get the hill, they're not getting any points. But if you guys are constantly dying, right, and they get the position, they might get some points. So sometimes you're just better at killing than the other team, but you just can't hold the spot because either your positioning is off, or your communication's off, or you're just making dumb mistakes like leaving grenades instead of picking them up, for example. Right here, I'm just trying to annoy the team. Guy comes up, I chainsaw him. I'm pretty sure I had no more shotgun ammo, so I didn't bother. Right here, I'm trying to just get into cover, trying to get a kill. I think I killed both these guys here. Yep. So you see, the moment that I can tell my teammates are capping the hill, I don't even bother trying to get extra points. I just move out right away because I know that the enemy team is probably on their way. Now I get bodied here, which is very unfortunate. Guy gets grenades. And that's why it's so important you push out of the ring as well. Because if I didn't even go out there, that guy wouldn't even have any opposition when grabbing the grenades, right? And understand this might be a lot to take in at first, but once you practice this a couple weeks, it'll all go automatic. Like you won't go back. A nice down there. Mayo gets taken out. And I know you guys' frustration when you're playing alone, and you spawn across the map, and you always think, what do I do? But that's why you have the TACOM to check your enemy or your teammate's position. That way you know, like, okay, that's their position, and I'm gonna be like somewhere close. But I don't want to get too close, because then I'm getting in the way. So here we're capping the hill. Mayo gets the kill, very nice. Gets taken out. So here I go above and behind the ring. I see Poli's fighting. I'm trying to mark and support him, but he gets taken out. Now I'm the only guy at the ring right now. I get taken out as well. I do really poor this game, basically, compared to the other games you've seen me play. But again, I didn't make this video to illustrate how good I am, but more as a good example of teamwork. Right there, Alex eats a grenade. My favorite thing. Totally pushing in, trying to break the hill. And guys, please learn to like drop the hill, man. When it's like 10 or 15 points left and it takes you the whole, you still have to cross the whole map to get there. Don't even bother, because the hill's probably going to be closer to where you are right there, instead of everything else. Now, right here, this is a good example of pushing up top instead of instantly the hill. And now you can see how effective it is when you have two people up top, because they have nowhere to go. And because we stay up top and keep the cross, my teammates have all the time in the world to run in. And if the enemy team runs out right now, they can just get hammered by bullets. Now, I don't know why Poli ran into the grenade there. I think he was high. And now this is where the problem shows up. It's when the other people in the team aren't paying attention to our position, and instead of going into the hill, because we're already up top, they decide to run up top as well, and then there's no more advantage. If you need one half of the team needs to put pressure, and the other one needs to support. Get this guy with a back A. I try to push up top here, and oh look, there's the enemy team. I got a message. Now you guys see how effective it is when you have the top part covered. So the ring is now at the grenades. I see like 3 people in the middle. That means there's 2 more roamers, and they are probably coming in from behind. And right there, I saw something, so I figured I'd just shoot at that in case somebody is there, get suppressed. And all this stuff, you know, it's all just a guideline. Nothing accounts for human error, of course. And the things that I show you guys in my videos should always be seen as like the ideal, like my personal ideal, how I like to play and what I expect of myself to do. So don't get mad if people don't do as you expect them to do, because everybody's got a different view of things, and sometimes people just don't know, right? And if someone doesn't know, then you're not supposed to be mad at them. Because if no one ever told them, or no one ever showed them, then how are they supposed to know, right? So I trust my teammates here to take care of the hallway, while I take care of the stairs. And see, the thing about this is, when the hill is inside the grenades, you don't necessarily have to be all the way up top of the map, right? Because if you do that, then you give people the opportunity to run back into grenades. It needs to be like a very flexible game of positioning, where you're close enough to attack the enemy, far enough away to like really defend yourself and not constantly, you know, be berated by grenades or whatever. And you also have to be a physical object in the way of the enemy trying to break the hill. Because sometimes you can shoot all you want, but if someone's movement is good enough, you'll miss all your shots. But if you're physically in the way, then they can't move past you. They have to kill you first. And sometimes you don't even have to kill that guy. You can just stay alive and be annoying, right? Get in the way. Doesn't get you any points per se, but if it gets you a win, then that'll give you a bonus. So here we're 10 points out. One guy in the hill. Right here, this is exactly what I was talking about. Just being a man in the way, so that my teammates can capture the hill and hopefully get the points. Obviously that didn't happen. And that's where your attitude comes from, right? That's why you have to keep trying. Even when things seem so bleak in that very moment. We might be up about 20 points, but it doesn't mean they can't come back, because there's like 30 points left in the hill. So if you give up for just a second and accept like, oh wow, my teammates are shit or whatever, you're already gonna lose. So right here, there's about 3-4 people in the hill. Wait, guess what? They're all inside the hill right now. They couldn't win. Now, if we push, that's the thing. If we push the old hill and broke it, they might have rotated to this new hill and gotten the win, right? Gotten the round. But because we didn't and we paid attention, and that was my bad right there. I'm lucky that Rayman took care of it. But because we paid attention, we all backed off and just took the next hill. So on one hand, the spawns are really shitty for King of the Hill. But on the other hand, if you know how to play the game mode well and know how to do some simple math, you can still win, right? But this could have happened for either side, so. Right, so round number 2. Grenades have been changed to incense, and sniper has been changed to Torco. Now right here, I feel confident enough to be inside the hill because I have incense. Now I just want to be annoying and keep the enemy team back while my team takes care of the middle. And I'm also actually really trying to illustrate what I showed in the video before the game started, which is try to keep the enemy back. So I take care of the guy that's down because I just want to make sure that he's dead, and I don't want to take the I don't want my teammates to take their attention off what they're doing right now. That's why I did it myself. But it's a risk I took, because if I died as well, right? Or these guys from grenades moved up, which they're foolishly not doing, then they would have had a superior position on us, obviously. So I'm just keeping him stuck. As they call it in some games, like harassing, right? Constantly spotting who I can. And their team is being pretty dumb right now. Because there's like one guy in the grenades. There's one guy at the little host pocket thing, crossing. And like the moment they push is when they're alone. And when my whole team is alive. Right here, I decide to risk it. The moment I didn't see him at the window, I knew he was going to be on the right side or behind the pillar. And that's when I noticed the guy too late. And let me know, guys, if this type of stuff is useful, okay? Because I don't have a whole lot of time to make very in-depth videos, but I do like talking about these things, and if it's very welcome, then I really don't mind doing this. And I'm sure the people I play with, they like being on TV too. Hey mom, I'm famous! Here I'm trying to fight Barrett and another guy. Unfortunately, he doesn't go down. And this is where the other team does it right? They keep the top. Very easy to hold. And here's my team doing it wrong by running into the hill first. And they get completely crossed out. And that is exactly why, even if your team isn't pushing on top, you have to push on top. You have to like train yourself for the day that, you know, you do have good teammates, that you know what to do, when to do it. And that's when you make friends, guys, right? That's when you make those players that are quote unquote better than you your friends. If you show them like, I understand how you need to play, or how I need to play, and what I need to do to win. So here I instantly run up top. Now I noticed that obviously we're outnumbered and outgunned. I get bodied here. But even though I was full red, I didn't give up. I didn't run away. And that's something I've been stressing, like, pretty much all my videos. Is to understand that you're gonna get hurt if you're running up to a defensible spot, man. You know, the enemy, even if, especially if they're good, let's say, they're gonna hurt you. But if you're trying to win, then you're gonna have to push back. And there's no point in running away, because you're probably gonna get down anyway, right? So just take the fight. And know that your teammates are there with you. Or even if it's one teammate. I had Polly there with me. Polylax. And I don't care about dying. You know, at least we tried. Can't win every battle. It'd also be really boring if you won every single fight, right? Here I'm just trying to harass again. I know I got Polly behind me, so even if I push and die, I know that he's there with me. I try to get a break and stay alive. And as you can see, I'm always cutting it close, right? I'm always full red and stuff. And that's the whole point, is to really risk your life as much as you can. It's kind of the opposite of execution in one regard. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And that's why movement, learning how to move so well, or really well, is just really important. Because sometimes it won't get you any kills, but you can be a benefit to the team by being able to move and break the hill without any issues. Now I accidentally make Triv move here. See, we're getting crossed out. And this is what the enemy team is doing well. They got a really good position here. Good crosses. I got one guy here. I think I tried to take out the Dom, but he kills me. Yeah, he kills me. Yep. And you can see, right, when you're looking at the death cam, these guys understand how to play, right? The lefty switching, they're running around really quick, they're paying attention. So these are by no means bad players. But me and my friends, we were in a party at the time, so we were like constantly communicating and stuff. And you've seen in my other gameplays that I'm pretty much doing the same thing I'm doing now. But because I have nothing to bounce off of, we're usually losing. Because the other team is doing what we're doing, you know, communicating and working together. So I guarantee you, if you would look back at my other videos, the other gameplays that I uploaded recently, you'll see me do the exact same thing I'm doing now, but it won't really work all that much. Just because I'm constantly looking at teammates who are running around doing useless stuff. Just because your enemies are ahead in the beginning of the game doesn't mean you're gonna win. You saw it last round. These guys were like 40, 50 points ahead, I believe, and we still came back. And that's because the difference in King of the Hill can only be one hill. It's first of all 180 points, which is like 3 hills max. And if your team is struggling, you know, for one hill, they can come back right away if they capture the entirety of the points. This Sims guy was getting really on my nerves. But the next hill is in the grenades. And I believe this is when I tell my team, like, let's do this, you know, let's get up top, let's get the cross first before we get the hill. Because remember, if we get up top, then they can't spawn in the burger place. See? We got 2 people running up top. I'm staying in the middle right here. I think I'm also going to look up at the top to see where my teammates are. I'm sitting at the back here. I know my teammate has a cross on me. Hit him with the back A. And because I know I hit him, I know I can move up. And if he runs away, then my teammate has him. So Poli runs up with Mayo. Triff stays inside the grenades. And me and Rayman have the back. And you'll see that there's no way for them to push in unless they kill someone. I think they grenade Trivarium in this instance. Yeah. And you see how they all move at the same time? That's very smart because we have to shoot everybody at the same time at that point. Now I know I was gonna die here because I saw like 3-4 people run in right away. So I just said, screw it, I'm running in like this. But as you can see, there's like 10 points left on the hill, right? They can cap this all they want, but the hill's gonna switch to the other side of the map. And that's why I stayed on this side. And I told my team, stay here, get positions. We're just gonna cap this hill. And just like that, we came back, right? They worked so hard to get a lead, and now they only have 30 points. Which is half a hill, and that's pretty much nothing. They're just harassing here. Got an enemy player running in. Eats hella bullets, but it's fine. Constantly checking the TACCOM to see how many people I have up top, how many people I got to my side. And just pretty generally annoying, right? Sometimes it's good to run out for a little bit, like where I am right now, to shoot a few times, to make the enemy team think that that's where you are the entire time. Which obviously you are not, right? I think that goes without saying. And I really believe this type of stuff is what separates the good from the greater. I shot my own grenades, god damn it! And there's literally like dozens of strategies you can employ on every map that are like this, right? Different positions you can pick, different crosses you can hold, but it all requires, you know, a certain set of teammates and a certain mindset and a discipline that you need to have. Because if you can't hold yourself from running out there and just shotgunning everything, then you're not gonna get any wins or any kills against good teams. And that's what I'm trying to illustrate here, is that even though I'm playing like dog shit, on the leaderboard wise, right, the scoreboard, I'm still doing work for my team. By being in the right position and by just being annoying to the other team. So 10 points left here. They haven't scored a single point since. I'm getting absolutely destroyed. And use the death cam as well. If you happen to play with friends, watch the death cam and count how many people you see and tell your teammates what they're doing. Because it's very obvious that people run for, you know, power weapons, for example, or running towards the hill, or, you know, when you see an enemy go down on the death cam, so not the guy you're spectating, but one of his teammates is going down. Remind people, right? Remind, like, yo, this guy is down, that guy's down, and just, that's it. Be very clear in what you're trying to say. There's a nice kick by this dude. We got 10 points left. Because this is such a hard hill to hold, I tend to just stay back and kill everyone first a couple times until they, you know, we get like a perfect spawn rotation where people, you know, need like 10 seconds to respawn, and then that's when we run in and cap the hill. A small little tip I can give you guys as well is the picking up of power weapons, even if you're not going to use them. Especially if you know you're going to die, just pick it up and switch to your shotgun. That way you backpack the power weapon and the other team can't pick it up. And that's game, set, and match, guys. 2-round win. Good game. Like I said, I played like shit, but I hope this video helped. If it did, leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these tips. And as always, guys, take care. Until next time. Peace out.